Can nervous system regulation help you recover from conditions like ME, CFS, fibromyalgia, long COVID, and related conditions? The nervous system matters in chronic health conditions because when the nervous system becomes overactive or dysregulated, for example, the sympathetic nervous system is activated, it's on high alert, this makes it difficult for you to sleep, to recover and feel energized. So supporting nervous system balance can help relieve symptoms, improve energy regulation, and promote healing. So if you'd like 11 strategies to help you regulate your nervous system and have an understanding of the nervous system, keep watching. So let's start with some nervous system basics. The nervous system is your body's communication network. It helps control functions like movement, thought, emotion, and automatic processes, breathing, heartbeat, digestion. It enables the brain and body to communicate effectively with each other. Think of it as your body's control center and messaging system, helping you to respond both to internal and external changes. So let's talk about the major components of the nervous system. Number one, you've got the central nervous system, which is the relationship between the brain and the spine. Number two, you've got the peripheral nervous system. There's two parts to this. There's the somatic nervous system, which controls voluntary movement, like moving your hand. And then there's the autonomic nervous system, which in itself has two main parts. There's the sympathetic nervous system, and this activates the fight-flight response, increasing alertness and energy. If switched on for long periods of time, it can be very inefficient. It causes wear and tear on the body, and important repair work is not carried out. This important repair work is carried out by the parasympathetic nervous system, which supports the rest and digest response, calming and restoring the body. I did make a video where I talked about the freeze and flop responses and strategies to shift out of those states. I'll link the video below. To keep this video short, won't go into those into too much depth. The third system is the enteric nervous system, called the second brain, and this controls digestion. It plays a surprising role in emotion regulation and overall well-being. It is responsible for stress response modulation. It affects our microbiome, and our microbiome influences our mental health. So when the enteric system isn't working, this can cause digestive issues, immune issues, and emotional sensitivity can be heightened. So it's really important you learn to regulate these systems so that your body doesn't stay in a prolonged state of stress or exhaustion. Working with your nervous system is all about reconnecting to your body, tuning into your sensations and learning to support balance between the activation and the rest and digest state. So here are some gentle ways to get started. Number one, start with body awareness, tuning in to your body. Begin by observing your body's signals without judgment. The ability to do this is really important. How often do you notice a symptom or an emotion and get stressed and upset? It's completely understandable, but this is just revving up the system, making it more difficult for the body to do important repair work. Example of that might be you've overdone it, now you're experiencing symptoms and a setback. So the ability to observe the body's signals without judgment is really important. So you could start really small by just spending a minute a day, a few times a day, just noticing first of all your breathing pattern. Is it deep or shallow? Is it fast or slow? Notice the sensations in your body. Remember, we're noticing the sensations without judgment. And this can be both good sensations and sensations that are a bit uncomfortable. And I use the word sensation rather than symptom as it's less emotive. Try it. Say out loud, symptom. And now say the word sensation. What difference do you notice? It's fine if you don't notice any difference, but often when I encourage clients to use the word sensation, they notice it feels a little less emotive. They feel more calm by just using that word. So the next thing we want to do is build a connection to our emotions. The emotions in the body, our authentic emotions, are a signpost. So learning to identify our emotions, accept them, feel them without judgment, process them, and consider what action we need to take, what the signal is wanting us to do, can result in nervous system regulation. When we don't listen to the emotional brain, which is the part of the brain that sends those signals, this causes nervous system dysregulation because we're not meeting our needs. And this is something I teach people on the Mind-Body Reconnect. If you'd like a PDF which explains that approach in a bit more detail, then I'll tell you at the end how you can get hold of that. So this ability to be aware of the sensations and emotions in our body can help you catch the signs of nervous system dysregulation early and take appropriate action. Third strategy is to incorporate breathwork. Breathing is a direct way of influencing your nervous system. So one technique is diaphragmatic breathing, where you sit or lie down, you put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and as you breathe in slowly through your nose, allowing your belly to rise, you're just noticing that movement. And as you exhale, either through your nose or mouth, you just let your belly soften, again noticing the movement. Okay, you can repeat this for a minute or even just for a few breaths or longer if that feels comfortable. This activates the parasympathetic response, helping you to feel calm and grounded. I have created a PDF with a number of breathing exercises. If you'd like that, comment the word breath below. Second strategy, box breathing. And what you do here is you inhale through your nose to a count of 4. You hold for a count of 4. You exhale for a count of 4. And then you hold for a count of 4. And you can repeat that a few times. It's always useful to just discern which techniques you like best. I prefer the more diaphragmatic breathing to the box breathing, but use your judgment. So these strategies can help regulate our nervous system and help us generate feelings of calm. As I say, if you'd like the breathing cheat sheet, comment the word breath below. Fourth strategy is to engage in gentle movement, and the emphasis is really on slow, gentle movement. This helps relaxation and regulates energy flow. For example, doing gentle stretching or yoga, walking in nature if you can manage that, Tai Chi or Qigong. So move in ways that feel really nurturing and gentle, okay, without exerting yourself. Check out my video on Qigong where I share a 1-minute technique that I used to do when I was feeling poorly. I do it maybe 3 to 5 times a day, and I always felt better as a result of doing that. I'll link that video below this one. So the fifth strategy is practicing grounding techniques. Grounding helps you anchor in the present moment. And this is especially helpful if you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. I've made a video on strategies for dealing with overwhelm. Again, I'll link below this video. One strategy is to put your feet on the floor. So sitting on the chair, just feeling your feet on the floor, feeling the sensations in your body, the support of the chair, for example, and just really getting a sense of being grounded. Another strategy you can use is the 3-2-1 technique, where you just focus on 3 things you can see. So I might notice the camera in front of me. As I look around the room, I might notice the lampshade and the vase. And then I'm going to focus on 2 sensations I can feel. So I can feel my feet in my slippers. I can feel the contact between the chair and my legs. And then you focus on one sound you can hear. So right now, if I'm quiet for a moment, I can just hear the sound of the radiator. And you can do that exercise in different ways. You can focus on 3 things you see, 3 things you feel, 3 things you hear, then 2 things that you see, 2 things you can feel, 2 things you can hear, and then 1 of each. Okay, so 3 of each, 2 of each, 1 of each. And if you can't, for instance, hear a different sound, you can just think of a sound. All right. So the 6th strategy is working on your mindset, spotting thinking patterns, beliefs that result in stress, and exploring how you can reframe your experience. So, for example, if I notice I'm saying to myself, I've got symptoms and these are bad, they're a sign I'm not going to get well, then that's just going to rev my system up and generate stress and more symptoms. I could reframe that to symptoms are my friend. They are a signpost to healing. So, for example, if I'm noticing some tension in my body, maybe in my neck and shoulders, which is a place where I tend to get sensations, then I can tune into that and it can give me information about how I'm perceiving situations and what shifts I need to make. I did talk more about this in an interview that I did with Raglan Agle. So if you'd like to watch that video, again, link below this video. So 7th strategy is to consider how you handle overstimulation. There were times when I was overstimulated a lot of the time. I was a bit of a stress junkie. And if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome, it can make your nervous system sensitive to sensory input. So as well as all the other strategies I'm sharing to help bring the nervous system into a more regulated state, you might think about what are the things you can do just to reduce overstimulation. Might be by having some time out, creating a place where you can just have some quiet time, where you can just tune in and reflect. You might limit screen time. For instance, at night, it's good to allow at least an hour between turning off your screens and going to bed. Helps you get into a state where you're going to get better sleep. Okay? It might be that you need to set boundaries around other people and their behavior if their behavior is generating stress in you. So 8th strategy, build in rest, recharge and recovery. Periods of deep rest when needed are essential for your nervous system to balance. So prioritize regular sleep routines. Breaks in the day where either you're changing your activity, might be, if you're dealing with a virus, you actually need to have a siesta. Having those moments of stillness to just tune in, reflect and reset. 9th strategy is self-compassion. A lot of the stress that we generate can be by the way we think about things and by the way we think about ourselves. When you're doing nervous system work, it can stir up emotions and old patterns. So it's really important that we're kind to ourselves, recognizing it takes time to heal, validating your feelings without pushing yourself to fix them, celebrating small wins in nervous system awareness. So number 10 is to experiment with regulation tools. Everyone's different. Everyone responds to different techniques in different ways. So pay attention to what works for you. Some people like soothing music, listening to sounds of nature. Some people like doing visualization, imagining yourself in a peaceful place. Some people like journaling. So work out what works for you. Number 11, seek support where needed. Working with your nervous system can be transformative. And it's also important to have support when things feel challenging. If you'd like to know more about the Mind-Body Reconnect, which is an approach that I teach, then comment the word MBR below and I'll send you the link where you can download the PDF which explains it in more detail. If you'd like to have a no obligation chat to find out more about the Mind Body Reconnect, then comment the word chat below and I'll send you a booking link. If you'd like more tips, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do join my Facebook group for Resilience Builders. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. If you've got any questions or if you've got any topics you'd like me to cover, leave a comment below or get in touch. Keep going. Dare to dream big dreams. You've got this. Wishing you great health. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.